Hi there.
Today we are talking about Raptor. It's a game from Bruno Cathala and Bruno Faidutti and published by Matagot.
Sensational news. Not all dinosaurs have extinct. They found a deserted island with mother raptor and her babies. Now scientists have mission. They need to either neutralize mother or capture babies alive. And mother needs to gather her babies or kill out all the scientists.
Let me tell you shortly how the game works and plays. So the board consists of different tiles, and you have obstacles on these tiles as well. You have rocks there. And at the setup, you're gonna put Raptor and her babies on the board, and then you're gonna put scientists on the sides, 4 of them at the start of the game, and then the other scientists will be in the reserve until they're spawned on the boards. And each one of you will get a deck of cards that is supposed to be for Raptor or scientists. And each deck of cards consists of 9 cards, numbered from 1 to 9, but each deck has different special actions printed on cards, so that's where the asymmetry of the game will appear. Now, to win the game or to lose the game, let's say like that, winning condition for each player are different. For Raptor, it's, for example, for her babies to escape into deep of the jungle, or if the mama raptor will eat all the scientists on the board, then the mama raptor will win. For the scientist player, if the scientist manages to capture 3 of baby raptors, he'll win. Or if the scientist player puts mama raptor to sleep with 5 sleep tokens, then they will win. That's really easy rule set for the winning conditions. But now the rules itself are really easy as well. At the start of the game and each turn, you will have always 3 cards in your hands. You're going to choose one of these cards and put them face down. Then you will reveal the cards and you will compare them. The lowest number will get the action printed on the cards, the special action. The bigger number will get the difference between numbers in basic actions. So let's talk about the special actions on the cards. For the scientist player, for example, you have a card that spreads the fire, or you have a jeep card that with that you can move faster on the boards. Or, for example, you have reinforcement card that spawns more of the scientists on the board, that they will help you capture the babies easier. For the raptor, you have, for example, the mother's call when she calls all the babies near her, or you have a fear card where you scare the scientists, and so they will be put down and they cannot act anyhow until they will recover. And she can also disappear in the woods and appear anywhere on the board. These are really cool special actions that you're gonna get. And the basic actions are also different for each player. There are some, let's say, the moving. You can move mama raptor, you can move babies, or you can move scientists. That's all the same. But for example, with the scientist, with basic actions, you can shoot mama raptor or baby raptor with a tranquilizer and put the babies to sleep, or capture babies, or you can just walk around or wake up from the fear. For raptor mama, she can move, she can kill or eat the scientist. She can also put the fire down, etc. So the different actions that you can choose from. So you will do that in turns, and then you will, if you don't have enough cards in the deck, you will shuffle the deck. You have cards that can shuffle the deck before the deck ends, so you will have all the cards back in your deck. You have more choices and so on. You will play until somebody of you meets the winning condition, but it comes really fast because the game is fast itself. So that's how you play the game, and I think we should go to our final thoughts. I want to mention that it is a collaboration of 2 designers, and these are French designers, so it's a French school game. And I tend to like and tend to trust the French designers and their school of gaming. So you have Bruno Faidutti and Bruno Cathala. For example, Bruno Faidutti has a role selection, and Bruno Cathala has a board manipulation. These are different styles, or how they make the game. They have their own style already. They have their own sort of a taste. So when you combine two different tastes or styles together, you will sometimes get a really bad game, but sometimes you can get a really good game. And Raptor falls into the latter, into the second one.
Yeah, into an amazing game, especially if you have a French artist working on that, Vincent Dutret.
Dutret. Yeah,
sorry for my French.
Yeah.
So the artwork is really beautiful. It fits really well the theme and overall the look, and Matagot is doing the best work in making all these tiny miniatures of the scientists all different. So that's pretty amazing. All the tokens, the cards are high quality, and one thing that I want to mention that the player sheet, the player board are really functional. You have basically everything here. You have your own cards, you have what opponent has, you have like victory condition, another victory condition, and some additional rules, basic rules. So you have everything here. It's perfect example of great player board.
Yeah.
And yes, as Ilja mentioned already, it's perfect example of French school. So the gameplay is really straightforward and elegant. Rules are easy, but you have the depth in it. So there is like zero fiddliness in the game. Everything is intuitive. Everything is easy to understand.
Yeah, I think everything is like straightforward. So on the other hand, the easy play and easy rules doesn't mean that the game isn't smart. And that's what I want to say about Raptor. It's a really smart game. It's all about outguessing your opponents and how you move your scientists or the babies in Raptor, how you spread them out, so on, how you spread the fire, and like there's so many choices to think of. Even if you have only 3 cards in your hands and you have like that limited number of choices that you can play, is that. But the thing is that as you can get either the special action on the card or the difference of number in actions, that might be crucial. So you have to outsmart your opponents. You have to think what he probably has, what he can play right now, so I can like counterplay him. So you will not end up with, for example, if you play a number 1 and Alina, for example, I'll play a number 1, Alina ends up playing number 9. You know, it's crucial because she will get 8 basic actions. That's a lot. And I will get only 1 special action. So you need to think really carefully. It's a very smart, but despite of that, easy rules, despite of that, straightforward, it's a really smart game.
I agree. I really like the best in this game. I like the outsmarting part. So despite all of that easiness, you really have to think like what other person wants to make. That's fantastic. And this is a symmetrical game. So if you're playing the role of Raptor Mama, then you have to think in one way. If you play as scientist, you actually have to adapt to that role and you have to like figure out something else. So it has strategic, you have to, and you can have tactic as well. So you need to combine both of them. And the game is actually really thematic. So you really feel the actions. You really feel that it makes sense. You really feel how you're moving around on the board and the fire.
How you like want to save your babies, or how you want to capture someone. You get the feeling of one is being captured and the other one is like being eaten or whatever. But I wanted to add to that before that. I didn't explain in the rules explanation, the overview, that each time you play these cards, they will stay in front of you in a row, so your opponent knows what cards you have already played. They will not just go into the discard pile, and you will not shuffle them right away. So outguessing gets even smarter when you know that, all right, so he has these and these actions and numbers already played, so he cannot play them again. So he will probably play something like that. So that adds to the depth and layer as well. So this game is for 2 players. Now that's the thing that 2 players is great. You can play with your girlfriend, or it's a game for couples. On the other hand, many player groups, as I have
each other.
Yeah, many playing groups, as I have heard, have more players gathering each time. For example, some will have 6 or 4 players. So it's really hard for the bigger playing groups to get this game to the table, and that's why it can get overlooked, because it's only for 2. It's really great. It's like one of the greatest 2-player games I have ever played. Really, for 2, it's completely like how it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be overlooked because it's only for 2. So I cannot myself describe it as a negative, but it can be a negative side. Indeed, as a whole for the game's fame. Yeah,
we too. I really appreciate. We really like playing just 2 of us, but just not all of people like.
So now, when you play, when a couple plays it, or when you play with a wife, or you play with your child, it's a family game. All right, it's a family game because it doesn't have any gruesome artwork or anything like that. I can call it a family game on one side. On the other side, be careful. It's really confrontational. You're gonna capture babies. You're gonna put them to sleep. You're gonna kill scientists with Mama Raptor. You know, it's like into your throat. It goes like.
Everything is about that. Everything is about killing out opponents.
Yeah, stopping them on their tracks. So it's a lot of confrontation, and if you don't like that, this game might be not for you.
Though I would still advise to have a look at that, because it might not give that feeling, but yeah, that can happen.
So, and the last thing I wanted to mention is that this game was, for me, the best 2-player game in 2015. For many, it was probably Seven Wonders Duel for me gets the second place of that. I like it more, but it got overshadowed by the Seven Wonders Duel.
Might be.
I had different thoughts, maybe why. Maybe it didn't get the wide distribution right away, or I just don't know why. I don't know why it's overlooked.
It should have much more attention.
Yeah, it should have been much more famous. You need to take a look at this game. You need to play it, and if you like it, recommend it to every player you know. That way this game can get the attention it really deserves, because it's a really great game. I have never played such a 2-player game before.
I remember the first emotion out of the first play. Yeah. I was shocked and seriously amazed by how easy but how deep the game is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it got into my... When I actually made the top 10, it got into my top 10 of all time. It was on the 6th place. Now it fell a little bit lower because of the other great games such as like Blood Rage and Time Stories, but you cannot really compare them probably that much. So it's still a big emotion from the first game right away, and it's still a great game after a few more plays, and it has a lot of replay value because each time you're gonna think differently. Each time you have different possibilities probably.
And then you can just switch the roles and do it once again.
Yeah. Although I think I would recommend playing, for example, if you're playing with someone, a 2-player game, I would recommend to try with for example, with one role, like many times in a row. For example, if you play the scientist for the first time, you should play it a few more times until you switch the roles, because maybe that way you will get used to what the scientist does or what the Raptor does, because it's really difficult in the first game, in the first few games, to understand how you should play as a scientist or as a Raptor. So that's my recommendation. So overall, a great game.
Yes, definitely recommend.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Totally. So let's go to our final ratings as well.
I give this game 9 dice out of 10.
I give this game 9 dice out of 10